Sometimes, children don't know how to ask for help. They don't always have the words. So instead, they try to leave. Once. Twice. Again. And again. Imagine a 12-year-old girl running away from home 10 different times in less than a year. Most people would probably assume she was rebellious, difficult. Maybe she just couldn't adjust to her new family. But what if every attempt to run away was actually a desperate cry for help? Tonight's story isn't about a stranger hiding in the dark. It's about a family that promised to give one little girl a better life. Instead, she entered the most dangerous home she had ever known. This is the story of Tia Lee Palmer. Welcome to the podcast, You Can't Unhear. In 2015, Tia was 12 years old and living in Queensland, Australia. Teachers remembered her as energetic, adventurous, and fearless. She loved animals, enjoyed being outdoors, and had the kind of personality that naturally attracted friends. If you met her at school, you probably would have described her as happy. But behind that smile was a childhood already marked by trauma. When Tia was very young, she witnessed serious domestic violence involving her biological parents. Fearing for her daughter's safety, her biological mother made an incredibly difficult decision. She placed Tia into care. It was an act meant to protect her. Sadly, after losing custody, her mother's own life continued to unravel through addiction and mental illness. Tia entered Australia's foster care system. Like many children in care, she moved between different homes while adults searched for a permanent family willing to adopt her. In 2013, she was adopted by a woman named Julie Pemberton. By most accounts, those 2 years were relatively stable. Although the adoption eventually ended because of changing personal circumstances, Julie remained close to Tia. They continued talking. That relationship would later become important because Julie noticed something had changed after Tia entered another home. In 2015, Rick and Julie Thorburn adopted Tia. They already had 2 adult sons, Joshua and Trent, and believed adding a daughter would complete their family. From the outside, everything looked almost perfect. Rick worked as a truck driver. Julie operated a childcare business. The family owned a large rural property with horses, a swimming pool, and farmland. It looked like exactly the kind of place a child could finally feel safe. Instead, within only 10 months, Tia ran away 10 separate times. Nearly once every month. Each time she was found and brought home. Most adults assumed she simply struggled to settle into her new environment. Her former foster mother wasn't convinced. Whenever Tia managed to contact her, she sensed fear. Something was wrong, but Tia never fully explained what was happening. Years later, investigators alleged that Tia had been living with repeated abuse inside the home. According to court proceedings, Rick Thorburn maintained strict control over the household, while prosecutors alleged that Trent, who was 18 years old, had been sexually abusing Tia. Tia reportedly confided in only one close friend at school. Otherwise, she kept everything hidden. Meanwhile, Trent exchanged messages with one of his cousins, attempting to portray himself as the victim. Those conversations would later become a key part of the investigation. Eventually, the cousin informed Julie Thorburn about what had been discussed. According to prosecutors, instead of immediately contacting police or child protection authorities, the adults became focused on something else: protecting their family's reputation. Investigators also noted that adoptive families receive government financial assistance intended to support children in their care. During the trial, prosecutors argued that financial interests had become part of the family's decision-making. On the morning of October 20th, 2015, Rick claimed he drove Tia to school. He later told police she seemed perfectly happy and walked through the school gates with friends. But school staff never saw her arrive. When teachers contacted Rick to ask where Tia was, he calmly suggested she had probably run away again. At first, that explanation sounded believable. She had run away many times before. Later that evening, Rick posted on Facebook asking whether anyone had seen Tia. Friends and neighbours shared the post. Search efforts began. But investigators would later question why police weren't notified immediately. More than 24 hours passed before Tia was officially reported missing. 5 days later, fishermen discovered the body of a young girl near a riverbank. Authorities later confirmed it was Tia. The news devastated her school. Hundreds of students attended her funeral. The Thorburn family appeared overcome with grief. They cried openly. They carried her coffin. To everyone watching, they looked like a family mourning an unimaginable loss. Detectives weren't convinced. Police had already begun examining digital evidence. Among the most significant discoveries were messages exchanged between Trent and his cousin before Tia disappeared. Investigators believed those conversations suggested there had been serious problems inside the home long before Tia went missing. Detectives then obtained authorization to secretly monitor conversations inside the Thorburn house. According to evidence later presented in court, Julie was recorded discussing what family members should tell police. Investigators believed she was coordinating a false account of Tia's final mourning. The investigation grew into one of the largest child homicide cases in Queensland. More than 60 detectives worked on it over the following year. Then investigators obtained security camera footage. Rick's story depended entirely on one claim: that he had dropped Tia at school. But the CCTV showed something different. Detectives said Rick arrived at the school alone. He waited briefly, then drove away. There was no sign of Tia entering the campus. The alibi collapsed. Family members were interviewed separately. As questioning continued, investigators uncovered further inconsistencies. According to Julie and Josh's confessions, on the night Tia disappeared, Rick told everyone to leave the house and not come back until the next day. Only Rick and Tia remained. Julie knew what her husband was planning but didn't stop him. That night, Rick killed Tia and dumped her body in the river. The prosecution also argued that the motive centered on protecting Trent and shielding the family from public scandal. Rick denied intentionally murdering Tia. The jury disagreed. He was convicted of murder and sentenced to life imprisonment. Julie got 18 months for obstructing justice. Joshua also received 3 months for assisting after the crime. Trent was sentenced to 4 years, but only served 16 months because he was considered a minor when he committed the abuse. The most disturbing part? After Trent got out, he was reportedly on dating apps like Tinder. Imagine matching with someone like that without knowing their history. Nearly a decade later, people still ask the same question. How could a 12-year-old child run away 10 different times, without anyone realizing she was trying to escape something. Every disappearance, every attempt to flee, was another opportunity for someone to ask the right question. Not, "Why are you running away?" but, "What are you running from?" Perhaps that's the most heartbreaking part of Tia's story. She didn't stop asking for help. Adults simply failed to understand the language she was using. Sometimes, a child doesn't need to say the words. Sometimes, running away is the message. Tia was betrayed by everyone who was supposed to care for her. Abandoned by her biological mother, abused and murdered by her adoptive family. It's just heartbreaking to think about what this brave little girl went through. May she rest in peace. Thank you for listening. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe. I'll see you on the next episode of the podcast You Can't Unhear.